It has been a wild, wild week in the Australian banking world. Computer woes, accusations of interest rate super hikes and experts calling for more competition. And with Big Four interest rates higher than the official Reserve Bank ones, Aussies are being slugged on their mortgage and credit card repayments.
But it's not just borrowers who are bearing the brunt. While term deposit rates remain unchanged, savers are contributing to the bank's profit to the tune of $25 million a week. So where's the loyalty? We hit the streets to ask whether you have ever beaten the banks at their own game.
Yeah, I have, with like an online savings account, just through the Sydney Morning Herald website. Like it said, compared the savings interest rates, and UBank, which is powered by NAB, had like 6.5%. None of the other banks were offering that, so I was like, yep, I'll go with that.
I changed from one in Newcastle to one in Sydney just because of the ATM fees. But
you definitely need to shop around because every bank has got something to offer. They're all competing. So when it comes to mortgages especially, if you look at all the different options they have and you just keep asking questions, and eventually there's something that suits you. So that's the way to do it. Definitely if you're at a bank and you're paying more than you think, go to another bank. I'm sure they're going to be trying to help you.
Not well, I suppose when I first opened an account I did look at the different banks, and then I've stayed with the same bank for 20 odd years, so I sometimes think about changing, but they all seem probably as bad as one another really, I suppose.
Is there any way to get a better deal? Money expert Anthony Bell is here to tell us how to fight back against the banks. Hi, Anthony. Lots of talk about mortgages going up. What else should we be on the lookout for?
Well, big one's credit cards too, Coles, because, so they're getting up to 15, 16% as well. So every time we hear the Reserve Bank puts up interest rates, credit cards go up as well. And the using of the credit cards is the thing that actually hurts us the most. It's expensive, and there's a lot of things to watch out for there, particularly in light of Christmas coming up as well.
Yeah, so everyone with a mortgage is being hurt by the banks at the moment, but just about everyone has a credit card, right? So what do you do? How do you start this process once you've decided you want to find a better deal?
Okay, well, see, credit cards have charges that come with all sorts of things. So some of the items that come on credit cards are benefits. They're points for frequent flyers. So firstly, check out if you're actually using the benefits that you've got. Look for interest-free incentives from the banks to change hands. So marketing companies from all the banks are saying, hey, come over to us and we will give you 6 months holiday on all your interest bills. And that's a great competitive chance to get back ahead. And also, too, keep in the back of your mind, too, that they have fees and charges as well on credit cards as well.
Yeah.
OK, we can't forget the Big Four hold about 90% of residential home loans in Australia. That's massive, isn't it? So how can consumers get a better mortgage deal from the bank if they're going to choose to stick with one of the Big Four?
Yeah, I always think about just asking first. We heard some of the people in the street just saying, hey, just ask the bank for a better deal. And we've had a lot of success by just saying, no, look, there's nothing to lose there. And the banks often will come down and find a better product for you rather than shift on. We also to look at other banks' products and ask your bank to say, well, one of these competing banks has got a better deal, and banks hate to lose stuff to another bank, so they'll usually meet that. But also, too, if you go a step further, look for a mortgage broker and get him or her to do the hard work for you. It's actually a great way of actually making sure that you can find the cheapest deal that's out there at the right time.
Actually, sorry, Anthony, if you say go and just ask, how should they do that? Do they pick up the phone? Do they go into a local branch? Because it's one thing to say to do that, but how physically do you actually do it?
Yeah, OK, so I had an example myself. I looked at my banking and my lending, sort of just recently, and I thought, I'm a little bit higher than
But
some
I
of the
reckon
other
you'd find it easier to get an appointment with your bank manager than I would with mine.
I telephoned my bank manager and I said, look, I put to them an interest rate that I'd be comfortable with.
Yeah.
I said, I think you're too high. And he said, let me go away and have a look at it. And strange enough, he came back 40 basis points cheaper.
So 0.4%.
Yeah, and there was a threat there. One of the people in the street actually said, hey, threaten that you'll take your business away, and don't be surprised that the banks will suddenly go to work then rather than you actually moving the account. So it is actually still just straight down the phone and going into your branch and saying, have I got the best deal that's on offer here before I think about changing?
So this is a sort of perfect storm because they don't want to lose you, and in reality it is a real hassle to change, isn't it?
Kylie made a great point before that 90% of all lending is with the major banks, so it's a big chunk of their business, and they're planning their future profits based on holding that 90%. These little guys are turning up now, and there's building societies, and they're actually offering, I saw someone this morning at, sort of inside 7% for a first loan, and that's cheaper than all the major banks right now, so there's still a 6.8% loan out there.
OK then, where's all this heading? do we think?
It's kind of hard, Coles. I think we're going to get some numbers that tell us. I don't believe that the Australian economy is as strong as everyone keeps telling us around the world. And I think we're going to get some numbers soon that tell us that our productivity is not so great. Interest rate rises have been suggested to go up as high as 8 to 8.5% over the next year or so. And we've got to keep in the back of our mind that some of the things are very important to make sure that they may not. So don't lock in right now and keep on testing your banks for a lower deal.
Okay.
You tell us when to lock in, mate.